Safe Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
What it is on the screen.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, and your co-host, Jeffrey Fernandez. What's up, Jeffrey? There we go.
Come on, Doug.
Oh, there we go. It wasn't working right. I got it now. Going pretty good.
Am I muted?
You are not muted this time.
No, not this week? Okay. All right.
No, sir. Let me turn me down just a hair. I am sharing this right now. So Jeffrey, what'd you do? I know you, let me see here. This is cool. So you flew back this week, right?
Yes.
How was your show the previous weekend? Everything go good?
It was good. It was a good time hanging out with the SoCal crew again. I'm telling you, that spot that Robert from Gorilla Hertz.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's in a cul-de-sac. It's an industrial area. We didn't get sweated by anyone, except for, I think when we were all leaving, some guy did a burnout or something like that. But I think they handled them. So
that's good, because we hate losing places because of dumb stuff like that,
Exactly. I always say, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that gets us shut down.
That's right.
If we asked you guys to turn down the demos, please turn it down. It's for a reason. It's not because we're, being, difficult with everybody, but we want to be able to make sure to come back. That's all.
Yeah, and also, I used to coach high school sports and whatnot, and I would always tell the kids, hey, you don't want to be the one in the news unless you're on the sports section, right?
Sports section,
because that's
exactly.
man's what I learned in high school, or what one of my teachers told me, and I can't even remember which teacher it was now, but they told me that it's always the man's accomplishments are in the sports section, women and man's failures are the rest of the newspaper. So that's one way to look at it. Right?
First time I heard of that.
Yeah, so all man's accomplishments are in the sports section, and man's failures are in the rest of the paper. Yep. All right. First off, I want to thank our sponsors. We got Puns Customs and Crossfire Car Audio. They're sponsors. Remember, if you get a chance, support those who support things that you like to do. We got Pop Tart coming in there. We got Stephen Talbot coming in. He was at the show this weekend. Pop Tart says hi to Rosa. I mean, he doesn't talk to the rest of us, but, hey, talk to her, whatever. Our guest this week we're going to have on is Tiffany Perris, and she is going to be, her and her husband actually last year signed up to be judges in Barbados, and so they have a new contract for this year, so they will be judging in Barbados.
Cool.
So Tiffany, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Your internet is so much better this time than the last time we had you on. So that's cool.
It might be because of where I am in the house.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so what was the process? Do you, as an international person, want to become a judge? Because we're always looking for good, qualified judges to help us out in DB Drag. Jeffrey has to fly all the way to SoCal to do shows. Not that he hates it, but that's the thing he has to do, right? But we can't be everywhere all the time. What was the process for you to become a judge?
Well, I think it wouldn't be so bad if one of you guys had to fly out to Barbados.
Yeah.
A trip to the Caribbean, after all.
Well, I'm coming June, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Just not stop. That's a little far
Whatever.
east of where we're going. But so, what was the process for you to becoming?
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, what was the
Well,
process?
actually, it was really easy.
Okay.
It was really easy. Everyone was very, very welcoming. Celise and Wayne and you and Jeff and whoever else has just reached out and has been really supportive in terms of whatever we needed. As you know, Doug, we've had some issues, some technological issues with our laptop and
Yep.
getting the
Mhm.
term lab up and running. But you jumped in and helped us resolve those issues really nicely. So everything's running smoothly. The process, pretty much, to be a 1X is to make sure you understand the rules and sign up. Oh, and of course, have a term lab. You need that.
Yes. That's the important part.
Yep. Yep. So you guys have been doing clinics,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we
So why don't you tell us about your clinics that you've been running?
yes. We've been doing well, we've been doing a few test and tune clinics. It's kind of to let the competitors get used to the formats. We're gonna start with Top Dog and Cyclone to start.
Mhm.
And it's been going really well. There's been a really great response. I know in the previous shows you've been talking about the testimonials. The guys are really excited.
Mhm.
Um, the clinics are also a chance for us to get used to the formats as well
Mhm.
and be able to run them quickly and properly and professionally. It's so silly because even though I know the competitors, I would go up to the window and I'd be like, "Hey, welcome to DB Drag."
Pop Tart
We're
says he
even
loves
taking
your
it,
accent.
from that level. Are you familiar with the rules? Are you familiar with the?
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Pop Tart. So it's like, are you familiar with the rules? Or, is there anything in the flash drive folder that you're going to look for to be able to run the competition? So it's been a really awesome experience. We've been having lots of fun. Oh, let me know if I'm talking
No.
too quickly, especially with my accent.
No.
Everybody's getting me?
Yes. Pop Tart says he's a base race is addictive. So once you guys
Mm.
start doing that, he knows.
Oh, tell me about it. Listen, after the first couple test and tune clinics, I finally borrowed a car.
Yeah.
I am hooked. I had so much fun. Everybody was like, Tiffany, how's it running? Are you getting the hang of it? I'm like, shut up, I'm winning.
Jeffrey ain't doing beat the boss yet at his shows, but
No.
Oh,
I'm on a downward spiral right now. I'm 0 for 4 this
Oh.
season on the beat the boss.
Doug, I think I maybe beat the boss, the boss to beat.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Coming to a show near you. I'm getting really good.
All right. I did run Carlos when we did the Fresno show. I ran him to 4 tiebreakers before he finally beat me.
Did you
Beat
break
me.
out?
No, I went point 8 and he went point 9.
Oh,
So,
Okay.
but we ran it 4 tiebreakers, so that's all good.
I feel like we haven't really seen like the
yeah.
crazy amount of tiebreakers like we used to.
So when you come out here to California, because
Yeah.
I hear this vicious rumor that Mr. Jeffrey may even show up here out to Autorama. You may
Hey.
see a few tiebreakers here at Autorama. But we truly don't have as many people dedicated to base race as we used to, I don't think.
Mhm.
People just come in and do it and it's fun. Don't care if they win or lose, really.
Yeah.
And so the dedication isn't there, but it's coming back. That's part of,
Mm.
just so you guys know, if you guys have a question about a rule, today's the day to get a rules question in. We will try and answer it the best we can.
I can't.
Jeffrey and
Not
I,
yet.
well, and we're gonna give Tiffany a couple chances. If you guys want to shoot just basic questions at Tiffany to see how well she understands the rules, you guys can shoot those, and
Way to put me on the spot, Doug.
well, that's what we're doing here. Um, One thing you guys are missing, though, I will say, is you need to fly out here to the States and come to one of the events over here just so you can see
Oh, for
how
sure.
either Jeffrey, myself, Jeremy, one of the turnkey event promoters actually runs an event. It's one thing to see it when we do it live and whatnot, but you don't see all the
Mhm.
behind the scenes stuff that
Hmm.
we do to
Oh
help
yeah.
move the process along. So just keep that
Yeah,
in
I
mind.
usually
Yeah,
like
I
to go
understand.
to check out other people's events to kind of see what works well, what doesn't work well, what can I bring to my events, and basically like, oh, how's his monitor set up, and how's his speakers and stuff like that. So I mean, that's why I like to go to other people's events.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Jeffrey will tell you. I mean, he picked up little things that he likes, right? So,
Mhm.
like, why don't you tell her like one of the things you like from my events that you've
I think
incorporated into yours?
a lot of the stuff how I run my events is kind of, well, when I used to compete back in the day, I would attend Doug shows because he's California. So a lot of the things that
Right.
I do at my events is kind of modeled after how he does his. Like, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, okay, and basically engaging with the crowd more so. I think, I don't know. It seems like me and Doug do it probably more than just about any other judge. But and some people have told me that too, and they're like, Jeff, just shut up, just let's just run the show. But it's fun to get everybody engaged
Yep.
and stuff like that. So that's what I
Mhm.
took away from like Doug's events, how engaged he is with his competitors, and just kind of do that at my shows.
Oh no,
Pop
in the Caribbean you have to be engaged. It has to
Oh,
be fun.
Pop Tart says Doug shows is like you're at an auction.
at an auction. I don't go that
Yeah,
far,
I
but
No.
agree.
Calvin says Jeff blows him kisses to confirm he's ready.
and that little
The
wink,
little wink.
that little wink too. So
The wink.
But in all truthfulness, too, when you do run an event, it's super important to be yourself. You can
Mhm.
see and
Mhm.
kind of model after somebody, but ultimately,
Mhm.
you need to find what you, because the more authentic you are, the more people appreciate who you are, right? So
Yeah.
that's not everybody's outgoing and as loud and obnoxious as me. So Jeffrey's not as loud and obnoxious. That's why he
Mm.
doesn't do the auctioneer stuff,
That
right?
that's your thing. I think it's trademarked, right? I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I
So
think that's a trademark thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can't take that.
that's a Doug thing.
yeah. Well, it's about having fun, right?
Hmm.
And
Oh, for sure.
so for me personally, when I'm running a show, it's not even about the competitors. It's about the people spectating, so that they can understand and have a good expectation of what's going on. And I'm trying to hype them up so that they're like going, "Whoa, what's going on? Oh, this is really cool," because I want them to.
Right.
Because if you're already competing or you're there with somebody competing, you understand how cool some of the stuff that's happening is happening. But if you're
Correct.
just like, okay, so like I said, so I got the Autorama coming up. We have 30,000 people that come through the gate at this event. Okay, that's 30,000 people. How many of those do you think have ever been to a DB drag show? Almost none. So they don't understand the cool feature of what's going on there. So I'm constantly on the mic talking about this is this guy, and this is what he's done, and this is what's happening. Oh, your husband chimes in, "Hey, boo boo."
Uh-oh.
Hey, what's
um,
up, boo?
he wants to know who
Thanks
the
for reading
sexy
that
judge
out, Doug.
is.
You sounded really
I,
cute. Oh,
I,
the sexy one? That's Jeffrey.
That's me, huh? Thank
uh,
you, thank you.
so, but yeah, but like I said, so the more authentic you are, and the bigger crowd you have, the more you have to explain and educate people walking around. And the other thing, like Autorama, like I said, it's 30,000 people. So the same person that's there at that
Right.
moment doesn't mean that's the same person there an hour from now. So I repeat
Correct.
myself so many times,
Over and over.
but
Mhm.
that's more so I can educate the people. Looks like your daughter popped in here. Is-
Neva?
Yeah,
Oh.
Neva
Neva,
Baseline.
baby.
It's spelt very funny, but I think it says hi, good night.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
that
So
that's young people speak.
that's young people speak. So what questions would
Yeah.
you have, Tiffany, as far as running a show? Do you have anything that maybe would help another person trying to become a judge?
um, the questions that I would have really in terms of how do you, which is what you said earlier, which is very valuable to be able to actually be at an event and see how it's run. Um, right now we are working on education and speed. Like,
Hmm.
I've heard you talk in the past, Doug, about getting the competitors in and out the lanes very quickly, and I would like to know the specifics of that. So we've been working to be faster, learning to set up the cars a lot more faster to rotate
Hmm.
them through. So it's not only fun, but exciting as well. So it's not boring.
Right. So so
Yeah, I
that's
would like to know the
speed.
specifics of how you get people in and out the lanes.
So that
I'm
speed
guessing
is
that
what
comes with experience.
yeah. I've been doing it a long time. And like I
Mhm.
know you've heard me say on here, it's super important that every time you get in the car, you're looking at that vehicle. So if you're putting a mic in, you're looking around. Hey, is anything different? Does
Mhm.
anything stand out? Now, especially when somebody's doing like a 150 or above, because then they have an opportunity to go to World Finals. And so you're like, okay, hey, dude, look, your headliner's not complete. Or, like the dome light fell out of their car, right? Hey, you know what? If this is a
Mhm.
multi-point event, you got to put something over that dome light and get that replaced. Um,
Mhm.
just dumb stuff like that. But every time you get in the car, so a couple of the key things I do when I get in the car is I remind everybody what class they're in if there's power. So hey, 2,000 watt limit. This is the final run. So I'll get inside and I'll tell them that. Base race. 139.9 class. Remember where you're at. This is the final run. You got one more run after this. I let the competitors know where they sit, how many more runs they got, and what they're competing in. Especially out here, we get people that'll enter three
Oh,
or
that's
four
useful.
classes, right? So they forget, oh, is this base race or DB drag or which one
Mhm.
what one am I in the lanes for right now?
Uh.
So, um, so I do all that. I make sure they understand that. Um, I try to pre-mark all the cars that I can with a mic jig, right? So all the cars that,
Mhm.
like when I'm walking around at the beginning, I'm talking to people, I'm trying to get them to decide what classes they're in and whatnot. At that time, um, that's when I'm walking around and I'm trying to put marks on cars as many as I can. This last show we had 61 entries. Well, only about so that was like 42 individual cars, and of those 42 cars, I think only 18 of them had stickers. So I still had to mark the windshield for the
Hmm.
rest of those vehicles. And if I had to do that in the lanes, it would have taken me a lot longer to do that. So would you say that's accurate, Jeff, to
Makes
try and
sense.
get those done ahead of time?
Oh yeah, getting them done ahead of time. Because when they come up again, you got to put the sensor back in. So you don't want to take the time to rejig the sensor. You want to be able to, okay, there's a dot there, just a no brainer. Just put the sensor right where the dot is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Brandy Korth chimed in, says
Yeah,
hi.
we
Hey,
stole
Tiffany.
our daughter's chalk markers.
You,
Oh,
you did
chalk
what?
markers.
Hey,
Oh, chalk
Brandy.
markers?
Hmm.
Hi.
Oh. So, so we have that, right?
Mm-mm.
Like I
To
said,
make
and
the marks,
yep.
because we
Oh
don't have
yeah.
the stickers yet.
Okay. The stickers that I like that I've liked the best, there's some clear stickers that have like an animal paw on them, and people don't see them on their
Mm.
car. Seriously, they
Hmm.
don't.
Yeah.
And so nobody takes them off. Like I used to put stars on there,
Yeah.
and
Not don't.
eh,
The stars were the hardest to peel off, and
they were
they
not.
had a yeah, yeah. It was the hardest.
And they left a great residue, so I
Oh yeah,
always knew where they were, even if you peeled them off.
yeah.
But the star kind of stands out right on their windshield, so some people would take them off
Mhm.
because they might only do 3 shows a year, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to leave a little
Right.
mark on your car for only attending an event 3 times a year. Um, so there's that.
Mhm.
And really, I put a time limit on the guys. They need to be paying attention.
Yeah.
You need to put the onus on the competitor for them to pay attention to get in and get out of the lanes. Um, they,
Okay.
they saw that for the first time when I went back east to Slamology, or not Slam. I went to Spring Break, SBN, Spring Break Nationals. So we did those in Florida, and the guy's like, "Well, normally I don't care about normally. I'm running the show. You have 120 seconds to park your car in the lane. If it's not here, I'm starting the meter, and you get whatever score the ambient noise is." So, Um, and you do that a couple of
Ambient
times.
noise score.
Yep. And you do that a couple of times, and I guarantee you, people get in the lane when they're supposed to be in the lane. Do you have any issues with that, Jeffrey?
That makes sense.
About people getting into the lanes?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I like to be able to, kind of dictate the flow.
Yep.
I know you had mentioned you want to put the onus on the competitors, but I mean, sometimes, they'll kind of hang out in the lanes, and that's kind of like your cue as a judge to say, hey, what I'll say is also to kind of like get them out of the lanes. And I'll say, watch your backs, guys. We got cars moving in and out of the lanes, and they're like, oh, okay, that's me. I got to move out, and then the crowd dissipates, and then it gives them the opportunity to move out. So being able to kind of dictate, okay, you want this competitor out of the lanes, you want another one in, kind of makes it for a little faster, more efficient event.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm a little not as nice as Jeffrey, so I said, "You didn't win. The lanes are for winners. Now get the hell out of my way."
Oh, no.
So.
No, we're not going to do that.
It's a technique.
It's a technique, right?
Not saying it's the right technique, but it's a technique. So yeah, so if you guys have any judging questions, hit us up on the in the chat. It's with the judging questions. We will try to answer them.
Yeah, who wants to join up? It's fun. It's awesome. You'll enjoy it.
And realistically, so we got Jeffrey in Texas, we got me in Northern California, and Jeffrey flies to Southern California. We got Wyatt in the Wisconsin area. We got Andy in Idaho, Utah area, right? We got Jeremy Creamer in Florida. We have, I think Rob Collar is becoming a judge, and he'll be Alabama, right?
Oh, awesome.
And then Chet, but I'm not sure where Chet does his shows because he kind of goes wherever somebody sends him, right? So, but this country's 3,000 miles wide, and we only have 5 judges to cover the entire country. So if you are if you guys are in an area that you think needs to have more shows, then step up, become a judge yourself, and as Tiffany will say, it's not that difficult to do, and we're all here to help. Oh yeah, well, Gregory is not. I don't think he's an official judge, but he does absolutely put on a handful of shows, and from everything I hear from the guys in the area, he's doing a great job. So something like Gregory's doing is awesome. Josh T.W.I.C.A out of Reno, he's considering to start running a handful of shows in Reno too. So
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we all got to start somewhere. I mean, we all started with the 1X, and I'm sure Chris Gregory is going to do really well, and he's going to be that 4X judge here pretty soon. And don't forget we have Ray Choi covering all of Canada.
Yeah, the entire country of Canada.
Probably North Dakota, maybe those bordering states, which I'm sure he would do.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, it says so. Gregory's certified up to a 2X shows now. The other thing is once you become beyond a 2X judge, you can no longer compete. So that's one thing to also keep in mind for people.
Right. That was my next question, because we have a lot of people that want to compete. So like if, for instance, somebody wanted to become a judge and kind of, fill that void, if they're competing, they can't once they become 2X.
Well, once they become 3X. So you can still compete in 2X. You just can't.
Once they become 3X.
Yes, you just can't compete in your own 2X shows. You can only compete in your own 1X shows.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then they're just it brings up the conflict of interest.
Yep.
But
right.
I mean, yeah, if you're more than content with just throwing 1X shows, you can compete. It's totally fine, and up until 2X.
And
it
will help people
exactly
in your area get points.
Yep, points for finals, especially now that we have the multiple locations. Right.
So anybody out there,
I think she's breaking up a little bit.
Yep. Well, I don't plan to. This might be ambitious, but I am. Wait, let me.
Now you aren't.
Tilt the phone a little.
Oh, there we
this way.
go.
Right. Um, this might be a little, so we will be seeing you soon, Doug, or you guys will be coming here.
Okay. Like I said, in my opinion, first off, you're probably better to go see one of us in action in in person. Um, and then to
Hmm.
become a 3X judge, you have to help. I think what is it, 2 or 3 shows, Jeffrey,
I believe so,
um,
yeah.
of an official 3X or 4X judge. As you have to come in and become a assistant, so you can understand how we run an event of that caliber. Because not, and this is no disparagement against any other organization, but with DB Drag, we strive to make sure that judging is as consistent as we can. We are all human, we all have different experiences, and because of that, we may see things slightly different than one another. I mean, we're literally a worldwide organization. Jeffrey, do you remember where the fourth location is for World Finals this year?
Slovenia.
Slovenia? Yeah,
Slovenia.
yeah.
And I think that's still kind of pending, but
Right, right.
wow.
It's
I mean,
pending.
that's, yeah.
But if we have Slovenia on here, right, we have to be consistent,
Hmm.
so that it's fair when somebody from North America goes and tries to set a record against somebody in Slovenia, right? So that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
important that we do training. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think next week or week after or something. But Wayne Harris is going to fly out for some term lab training to Europe. I don't know how long he's going to be there, but he's going to be out there and
Oh, nice.
doing some term lab training out there in Europe, because Europe's a growing market for DB drag.
Right.
So that's, we want to see that. Um, but anyway, uh,
Ooh,
so
that should be interesting.
okay, so what runs have you guys done? Why don't you tell us about that?
Which friends?
Yeah, yeah. So when you did your demo days, how did you set it up?
Um, well, the first one didn't go quite so smoothly.
That's
And
okay.
thankfully
Yeah,
it
it's
was
okay.
and thankfully it was just us because like I said, we've had some technical issues that we've got to resolve. But once things started to get going and we invited people to the clinics and everything, we've done Top Dog, we've done Cyclone, and we even tried to um set up so that we can do some SPL readings
Mm.
because the guys love that. They want to see how hard they're hitting.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to ask you if we wanted to run the demo class because I think that
For
would be
what?
very popular here.
For
Cyclone.
The
Cyclone?
new demo
Cyclone.
class.
Mm.
Cyclone?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
were
I
your
I want to
questions?
get the specifics of that in terms of running the demo class.
Would you like to help her, Jeffrey?
Yeah. So basically, Cyclone demo. It's an average score of your 60-second run on music, right? Uh,
Hmm.
no test tones. You could use any kind of music you want in Cyclone. But the key part is to kind of be able to tell the competitors for a full minute, and it's an average. And I think that's what they kind of take. That's what they listen to, and they're like, okay, yeah, because a lot of the guys are like, you know they kind of want to shy away from burping a little bit from the burp scores, and they want to do new formats like Cyclone. And when you present it in a way where it's like it's different than a burp, than a 3 second burp, you're playing, music for a full minute, they'll want to, okay, yeah, let's do it. So I think that's the major difference. Of course, one of the other things is there's no bracketing round, so it's kind of a one and done type run. Um,
Didn't we
but
change that to where you can back it up
Okay.
you
right
can do,
away?
yeah, you can do two back-to-back runs, but yeah,
Right.
unless there's a tie, you're only coming up to the lanes once for cycle. One of the major
Okay.
differences as well.
Hmm. So do you have any
Yeah.
questions
I
about
think
that
that would
stuff?
be no. I think that'll be interesting. Like really popular here as well. So we're gonna see about doing that for sure.
Hmm.
It's really popular for the guys that are
Mm-hmm.
daily drivers and aren't don't have the money to put into walls and stuff like that. Because
Mhm.
a worldwide competitive DB drag vehicle is not cheap. So
No. No, it isn't.
yes. So Brandy wants to know, Tiffany, how many competitors are there in your area? Maybe she was late and missed it. I don't think we asked you that.
Oh, signed up. We don't have
No,
any
no, no,
official signups
no,
yet,
no,
but I
no.
think
What?
that will happen once we start getting the competitions going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what are you
Oh,
looking
you
at for a
mean on the
turnout?
island?
Yeah. What are you looking out for a
Holy crap.
turnout at an event? You think?
You see, no, we do this, and then we always underestimate. We always say, "Oh, we'll probably get about 20 people," and then about 40 show up. In
That's
terms of
good.
who will actually be
Yeah,
competing,
that's
I
good.
think we have, I think we actually have similar challenges to you guys, where a lot of people want to come and watch and
Mhm.
kind of feel it out first before they join up. So, having not had an official show yet, we'll see. But I think with the test and tune clinics, that's helping people get
Mhm.
interested, and they're getting the fever to compete.
Yeah.
So let me help you out with that. So there's
Hmm.
nobody better at. Wow, my internet is unstable. That's awesome. I wonder
It's
why
yours,
that.
haha.
Ah.
Dude, I pay for 1 gig. There's no reason mine shouldn't be unstable. Um.
Oh, it doesn't
Anyway,
matter how much you pay for it; it's just unstable.
yeah. Um. Anyway, now I totally forgot what I said. Oh, so there's nothing better to do, but you have your competitors that are actually competing there, and they go talk to these people and tell them, dude, you guys really should try. This is more
To
fun
other
than you can
people,
imagine.
yeah.
Because
Mhm.
you as a judge, they
Hmm.
already think you have a bias because you're trying to take their money, right? That's their thought. No, no, serious. That's their
No.
thought process. That's their thought
Right.
process. Okay. Um,
Hmm.
but if another competitor says, "Hey, I'll tell you, Moses Martinez," he goes through
Hmm.
so much and goes, "Look at this. You're going to compete today." He'll tell him straight up, "You're competing today." Well, he goes, "No, watch here, watch this. Hey, Doug, how much does it compete? $30. Okay, I'm paying for him. Go.
I
He's
think we need to
competing."
bring one.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the other thing
Well,
Moses
this
is,
way.
yeah, and the other thing Moses has been doing, I don't know if he did it at your event, Jeffrey, but our last two events, he put $100 up front right off the bat and said, "Hey, look, first 10 people that register, you get $10 off your entry fee."
Yeah. I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah. So, Mr.
Moses, we
Dan,
need you to come in and be our hype man.
he is a great hype man. Would agree, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah. I mean, there was a reason why he was one of the ambassadors at
Yes.
Vitals. So.
Yep.
Correct.
Mr. Daniel New says, "What island specifically are you
I
referring
thought
to?" Sorry, he was late.
that was well deserved. Like, couldn't be more.
Oops.
Okay, I'm getting some sticking up here. I don't know if it's me or you.
All right, I think it's you. Is it her, Jeffrey, or me?
I think
Oh,
it's
it's
her.
me this time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's Tiffany. Well,
All right. So what he's asking what island
Okay.
you're on.
Switch it a little bit more closer to the door.
Okay.
Barbados,
Barbados.
Yep.
which
The
is
the the newly free
most
country.
easterly island in the chain.
Ah.
Yes. The most newliest,
We
freest
were
country.
independent, but now we're a republic.
Is that what you are now? Your
The
republic?
freest, the freestest.
The freestest.
Yeah, yeah, we're a republic now. Yeah,
Yeah, we were
the
talking about you
freestest.
earlier, Joe.
1 year republic. We were independent, but
Oh, is anybody else having a problem with our volume? Because my end, it shows our volume super high. Josh T2 says, "Yo, yo, yo, wish the volume was loud enough." Um, but I can turn the volume up if we need to. But like I said, on um, my
oh, is it
instruments
me?
here, no, no, no. You're the loudest of the three of us, and I'm trying to balance everybody with you. So, but anyway,
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
no, that's fine. That's my job to take care of that. Um, so so you guys is gonna start. Do you guys have a? I was talking to Tristan today, and he was saying he has to meet with somebody because you don't have a firm date yet on when you're possibly gonna hold an event. Where do we sit with that?
Um, yeah. Well, we were talking about running our first event in April. I'm Tristan actually has to travel at the end of the month. And the guys that, want to come and assist us with the whole judging process and really help us push this forward, they were saying that while we get used to it, they wanted a few more practice sessions. So I can appreciate that. So we're thinking sometime in May, we'll hold our first event. So we'll get a date soon for that. So it's because we want some more practice. We want to get people more interested in it. Tristan's traveling. So me.
I promise you, there's no amount of practice you can do until you just do an event.
Yeah.
Right, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Perris. I don't think so.
Real
I don't think
quickly,
so. Yeah, we
I
should
want to
just do
make
one.
a.
It's true. But yeah, I think that they want to get used to it.
Okay. What were you hitting, Jeffrey?
Oh, I want to make a suggestion. So there's a feature on
Sure.
the Term Lab where if you have it connected to a printer, you could actually print certificates with their score and information, even though if it's
Yeah,
just
and
a
it does it in PDF as well.
exactly even if it's just a test and
Hmm.
tune, we'll say, hey, you guys want to come over? We can give you a certificate, so you're legit.
Oh, I didn't think about that for the
Yeah, so
testing
that you
too.
could,
Oh,
because a
that's a
lot of
good idea.
guys they want to take a picture of the score or the monitor, right?
Right.
But if you offer it like in a certificate form, you're like, here, you could take this, take a picture of it, hang it on your wall. That hey, you did a DB drag format, and this is
I'm
what you have to show for it. So,
I messed with it, but I didn't know if it was allowed to give it to the guys that were coming.
mm,
So
oh yeah,
it's allowed?
Yes.
Oh, all
Uh,
right, guys.
it
If
Janet.
you're
might have to
watching.
be under like a generic format, but
Right.
if you just want to do like a test or like you're doing tests and tunes, if you want to, put it under SPL mode and say, hey, let's see how loud you are. You can set it up where it's like peak hold,
Yep.
stuff like that, and then there's an option there where it allows you to print out a certificate. So
Yep.
Right. I
And I
love
can
that,
help
Jeffrey.
you with
Thank you.
that.
Yeah.
If you need help setting that up, I can absolutely help you with that.
Oh,
Janet
yes,
Kent.
please.
Janet Kent chiming in says hi
oh
from a newly remarried couple. Thank you everyone for
ah,
supporting us. Thank me
Oh,
for
hi, Janet.
officiating.
thank you,
Congratulations.
Janet.
Peter Gunn saying Doug getting deep down here. And Lucky McGovern chiming in says, "What's up, sis?"
Lucky.
So yeah, no, like I said, it's super important. The best way you guys can help the thing, Josh. So when I was talking to you, I was talking about you on here. We were talking about that you are planning on hosting a couple of events or whatever in Reno, just to help get your points. Now that we have a World Finals over here in Antioch this year, which is an indoor venue, we can hold 19 cars, and I believe what we're gonna do is the first 19 people registered for World Finals are going to get the indoor spots, and then
Oh
everybody
wow.
else is going to have to be outdoors. So hey, if you want to get registered, it's up. Lucky's saying hey everyone. Aaron Bryant says, "What's a DB drag?" So and it's an indoor venue, so that's really cool.
And it's in Antioch.
Antioch.
Right? Antioch.
Yep, it's about roughly an hour east of or west of me, northwest. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's a phenomenal. The location's cool. They actually have a racetrack on the premises that they're going to have races that day too. So
Like car races?
yeah, circle track racing.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have to worry about noise. Maybe we can draw over some of those car guys over to what we're doing from there.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened at the last West Coast Finals, right? Where they
Oh
had
yeah,
that
at the
racing
drag strip.
with the yeah, they were coming around and were like, hey, what's going on?
I'm like, what
What's
the
going
hell's
on over here?"
this? They're loud too, like us.
Exactly.
One of the other things I did want to mention is Anthony Caps was at my show this weekend. If you guys haven't seen his ride, I don't remember. I think it's Bug and Bass is his YouTube or something. I don't remember which one it is. But let me tell you, his Bug is actually a really awesome demo vehicle. Like he says, it's not a Bud Light can. Anyway, he was asking me, he goes, yeah, so am I going to just be able to pull up to World Finals and just demo all day there? And I said, well, you can't. So part of the issue we had at World Finals when we did it at a specific location when we were at Alston's Chassis Works, Jeffrey and I were there. We're running the event. We have 20 cars competing. We had close to, I bet you we had close to 150 cars, wouldn't you say, Jeff? That were just there parked, demoing, taking advantage of our facilities and our restrooms and, this big old production we put together. We had 150 cars there that were there taking advantage of it and not participating. And we had 64 people that qualified to participate. And they were there at the venue. And they were like, well, I'm not going to win, so I'm just not going to participate. And that to me,
Oh, wow.
that is, so even our last DB Drag World Finals here, we still had, I think, 41 cars at the event for 64 entries or something like that. But when I talked to Wayne about this, he goes, well, you guys only had 20 cars. And I'm like, wait, that was 2 years ago. So, because one bad memory erases a whole crap load of great memories. So remember that. And if we can overcome that bad memory with a phenomenal memory this year, it's going to go so far for us to have an event here again in the West Coast. Peter Gunn says that was a nail biter. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Probably when we were doing our base race, the multiple people. Shane Seal. I haven't seen that name on here before. But anyway, says hi. Good night to everyone. Anyway, yeah. So
that's a Bajan.
Oh, he's a Bajan.
Good night, Shane.
He's a Bajan, huh?
Bajan, yeah.
So I want to just tell you, I promise you, you need to just do a show. Organize it, run it, do it.
Oh, we will. It will happen in May.
Because all these practices are going to be different than actually doing the event. So, but like I said, in the future or whatever,
I can envision that.
I would suggest you go to one of the big events that we have, which is, Autorama, or I don't know what Jeremy Creamer had. Oh, like Triple Fest or something like that.
Love to experience the finals.
Yeah, or
Triple Fest too. Yeah, but I would love to experience the finals.
So you guys fly out to the finals. You can stay at my house. Just saying.
Oh, thanks, Doug.
All right.
Thanks in advance. He didn't ask you, but
So Brandy says charge a small fee for demoing because without demos it wouldn't be the same. No, we aren't charging a small fee for demos at World Finals. How do you police that though? Yeah. So we aren't doing that at World Finals.
I did go to another organization's World Finals just last month, and they actually offered demos at their World Finals. But this time around, and I think it's it was a little different than the previous year. The previous year, the demos were kind of close to where the competitors would park at. And then this past year, they actually put them outside of the venue. Well, in the parking lot. And it kind of upset a little bit of people about that. But, I mean, if we can kind of get it organized and, maybe have them.
You got to understand also, each one of these competitors are paying $150, $160 to be inside the venue.
Yeah.
So what's a fee that we can charge for demos?
Well, this organization was charging $100 to demo, and it kind of.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the reason why I kind of peeved a little bit of the people was because just anybody off the street, one guy who just attended the event paid like $5 to park in the same area where the demo guys paid $100 to park. So if it can kind of get it more organized, and maybe they have their own section, and just kind of I don't know. Maybe we can get someone to kind of spearhead that committee. We can include them, is what I can say. It won't be a bad thing, but maybe it'll be a good thing.
Okay. My understanding is we're not going to have a gate fee, so we're not going to charge for
Mm,
spectators or none of that stuff. We got to have security, and all that. It's
yeah,
on a fairground, so we got all the normal stuff that comes with fairgrounds. So, um, no, that's cool. And also, I mean, especially on the West Coast, a lot of the competitors here, and same with out in Texas, a lot of the competitors that are competing also demo during
yeah.
the event.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's not like we won't have anybody demoing.
Right.
And like Autorama. So some people just paid a demo at Autorama, and to come through the gates $50. I don't give a crap what you do. If you demo, compete, whatever, to get through the gate, it's $50. It comes with one entry into the DB Drag event. I'm trying to get a hold of
Mhm.
Base Wars to see if they want to participate this year. I did talk to IASCA last year and said, hey, you know what? Next year I can get you guys involved and you can share the venue with me. I got a hold of Ray Pimley. Ray Pimley said, hey, I appreciate it, but this year is just not going to work for me. I said, no problem. That's cool. Um,
Mhm.
so, because I want to see the community grow. I truly do. And if that's a way I can help it grow by getting people more opportunities to participate, and if that'll bring people from further areas that want to try out GB Drag or want to try out Base Wars or whatever, because I tell everybody all the time, you'll find a space that you really like and fit in well with. I mean, that's why Jeffrey does.
Mhm.
I mean, what organizations do you guys do, Jeffrey?
Well, Andy, he does USAC up there in
Okay.
Idaho, Utah area as well. So,
Okay. So I mean, so it's not like we're against the other organizations. We actually try to work with them as much as we can.
mhm.
So that's really cool. Um, I
Mhm.
I am waiting for Celeste to give me the okay and or her or whatever. Get out there and start talking about all the stuff that we're kind of planning for World Finals. It,
To unleash it.
yes. Well, because we got to have contracts in place and whatnot before we can really,
Mhm.
really, really, you know, say what we're doing. That was the reason it took us so long to announce the World Finals, is we needed to
Mhm.
confirm our contracts, and and to get the contract, you have to prepay something stuff. You have to guarantee security. You have to get insurance, and I mean all that other stuff that's boring as hell that nobody ever sees.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That
The
we got to
behind
do
the
all behind the
scenes.
scenes stuff to make an
Hmm.
event happen.
But
Um,
it was announced though, right?
it
The
was.
date and location.
Yes. So that
So
much there we have confirmed and contracts back for. So,
Okay.
the they're going to be in the same place. Were we at Indiana last year?
Owensboro, Kentucky.
Kentucky, yes. So Owensboro, Kentucky is the other location, and they're going to be
Hmm.
in the same hall. It's not going to be set up quite the same. We're not going to have the upstairs set up, and
Oh,
it's not going to be exactly the same. Because it is going to be dialed back, because that is a very expensive venue for what we did
mm,
last year. But it was a 25th anniversary, and we wanted to really
right.
show out, right? So it
Go
was,
all out.
yeah, oh yeah, it was a great show. Jeffrey and I did our little podcast from there. What's your plans, Jeffrey, for World Finals?
Mhm.
I don't know. I was talking to Andy about this, and I was like, I haven't been to Canada. Maybe Ray will need some help up there doing the Canadian location.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it.
Mhm.
I'd like to do Kentucky as well. I'd like to do California. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I'll go to Slovenia.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I obviously have to do the California venue. We use my
Mhm.
setup and all that for that. So, that all that stuff's like I said. Nobody hit us with any questions, so that's cool. I mean, apparently we should never have anybody fail any inspections at DB Drag. So you guys all know all the rules. Um, that's what I'm thinking. This is cool. We're gonna do it like I said, the second Monday of every month. And I think as the season starts kicking off in other areas, we may get more people jumping on and, hey, what about this rule? What about that rule? I do want to mention one rule that did come up today from the event this last weekend in Greece.
Mm.
Well, about the tape.
Right.
Did you see that,
Yeah.
Jeffrey? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Tape?
yes. So you're allowed to tape on the inside and the outside of the windows,
Hmm.
but it cannot exceed more than 2 inches from what you're covering. So you can't have 2 inches, because now it becomes 4 inches,
4 inches.
right? So you have to just run a maximum of 2 inches wide on anything. You can do it. It's very specific. It says you can do it on vents and on windows. So if you have a vent or a window, you can put the tape on that if you want.
And most people put that on the windows, um, and I think the judge out there, Giannis, he, yeah, I think at the last time he came down to finals, I think it was in Kentucky a while back. Um, he w- brought that up as well, and we
He
all
did.
got on the same page. So I think it just needs some clarification. Obviously, vents. We all know what a vent looks like. A vent is not a gaping hole where your head unit used to be. That's not a vent. So you can't, plaster that with tape. Stuff like that. So,
Yep.
but more so, people use it uh, for windows. And then when you measure it, it's kind of where the glass meets the body, or even like where the door panel is, and then you kind of measure, an inch one way, then an inch the other way.
Yep. So, no, like I said, that's all good. I mean, like I said, apparently nobody has any questions, so that means we have perfect competitors that'll never violate any rules. I mean, in general, most of our competitors are really good, and if they have rules questions, they'll message us, and we as judges will discuss it and then get back to them. So
I had one guy a couple weeks ago at the event I did in SoCal in Bloomington. Um, he was a new competitor, and he asked me what the voltage max is, and I was telling him, and he told me he's running 400 volts, and I'm like, wow, I think
oh, that's right.
16 volts, 18 volts is the max. Oh, then I was like, okay, well, okay, then I ended up putting him in a base race, which there isn't a voltage limit. So he was able to compete, but that was kind of new to me.
Hey, but he wasn't running. Oh, I thought we talked about this. That must have been his power wire, or his output voltage from his amp was 400 volts.
He said he tapped into something. I forgot exactly what it was, but
so here's the thing. I guarantee he can't. Okay, what would happen if I put 400? What would happen if I put 400 volts to your Crossfire 8K?
Well, I think he was running amplifiers that accepted higher voltages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Harrison Labs or something?
Stetson. It's one of the Brazilian companies.
But you should have checked it. I'm guessing he wasn't running 400 volts.
I had my voltmeter in my hand, and when he
said hell no,
he said 400 volts. I was like, can we get a volunteer here to put their tongue on these? How we used to do with the 9-volt batteries.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're telling me it's 400 volts. I can't put you in a 12 volt or DB drag class or format. I can put you in base race, and he was totally fine with it. He ended up making like this video of his vehicle that went viral.
Oh,
so,
cool.
That kind of threw me off a little bit when he said 400 volts. All right, buddy, I'll take your word for it. Let me put you in this class.
All right. Hey.
I don't think it's 400.
I don't think so either. We're just about out of time. We started a little bit late, so we're running low on time. Jeffrey, so we've never asked Tiffany this question, but she already knows all about it. Why don't you ask her the question of the day?
All right, Tiffany. So it's a question that we ask all of our
Oh
guests.
wow.
Yeah. Basically, we want to know what is
Holy
your
crap.
what is your definition of a base head?
Oh my gosh. I hear this question every week and I'm
Uh-huh.
so intrigued by everyone's answers. And I never thought about what I would say if it was me. Even though I
Hmm.
knew I was going to be definition of a base head. That means, sorry, that's such a heavy question for me, right?
Yeah.
It is bass beat. And wants everybody else to hear it too.
Yep.
We have a festival down here called Crop Over, and basically when everybody asks me what me and my husband do for a living is like,
Hmm.
well, so that's really and truly our definition of a bass head. My definition of bass head is that we make your vehicle sound like a Kaduma truck, and you will love it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's
Yeah.
no wrong answers there. Like I said, it's your definition, not mine. Um,
But it is a heavy
Yeah.
question, though. That's like
is it?
It is.
I was watching this movie and they asked somebody to how do you pronounce the word GIF? You know, GIF or is it GIF or GIF? And
Yeah.
she refused to answer it because she said a lot
Jeff,
rides
yeah.
onto it. So I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what this question kind of entails. Is there's a lot riding into
Yeah.
it. You know, there's so many different definitions, and it's just
Uh,
loaded. It's too heavy. It's too heavy to
It
grasp.
is very loaded. It is very loaded, and I
Hmm.
get very emotional every time I hear it.
Well, obviously, you guys can see Tiffany's a great
Yeah,
person.
very
Hmm.
She's a
passionate.
very happy and she's very involved in the basehead community, not only in her country but in ours also in the United States here. Um, and she was talking to Alan Dante out in Brazil for a long time. So her and her husband are very much, they want to show the great in what we do, and they're good ambassadors of what we do also. So just always remember that if you guys have some
Oh,
stuff,
thank you.
if you guys have some stuff that I mean, you're in Barbados, stop by SQ Sounds, say hi. That's all good stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah. We'll take you in. You become family instantly.
yeah, and I truly believe that once you become part of the community, you are part of the community. Um, Lucky
Mhm.
chiming in. He isn't doing this anymore with us, but he still chimes in and he's part of the community. Absolutely, people still talk to him and get involved with him and whatnot.
That's family.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, Jeffrey, what you got coming up? I see a little something over your shoulder there.
Oh yeah. So I got a show Sunday, April
April
23rd.
23rd.
Yes, at Crossfire Car Audio in Grapevine, Texas. It's going to be a triple point event
Again?
again. So make sure you check it out on
Wow.
the DB Drag Racing calendar of events. Speaking about the calendar, I know a lot of people are now becoming members. Um,
Hmm.
I want to tell people that if you're a member and you're looking up events on the calendar, there should be an option where it tells you to add where you could add it onto your calendar. And when you do that, you actually get a bonus point. So, whatever place you take at that event, you can add another point onto that. And then it's all going to help when you're getting points for world finals. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Not a lot of people know about it, but again, if you are a member and you're on the calendar checking out the events, you're going to go to that event, hit that
It,
I'm going to attend the event
yeah, and
button on there.
even if you are I might go to it, if it's in your area, click on it. And because if you don't go to the event, they pull the point away. But if
Right.
you do go to the event, you get the extra point. You can't get it later. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt to get the extra points, but you have to be
Hmm.
a member to start getting those points.
Right.
Um, any last words from you, Tiffany?
Yeah, actually, I just want to say, publicly say thank you, Doug, Jeffrey, everybody in the DB Drag family for taking me and Tristan under your wing. Um, it's been a wonderful experience, and I encourage anybody that's considering becoming a judge, just sign up. You won't regret it. You know, it's an amazing format, and the entire community is so welcoming. So thank you, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody.
I'm
Really
trying to.
appreciate it.
I'm
Celise, Wayne, thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her area once it starts growing and all that. And we were like, yeah, remember when there was like only so many cars, and then now you're booking out full
like
arenas or
venues and stuff. Yeah.
venues and stuff like that. Man, that's the
Yep.
coolest feeling.
Yep.
Different islands too, because we're gonna
Islands.
really try to support the other islands in the Caribbean if they want to take on
Yep.
format.
Yep.
Yep,
And if we need to do
it
another
should be fun.
if we need to do another little judging thing like we did prior, like we did previously, where we get a bunch of different of the island
Mhm.
guys and they want to talk about the judging process and whatnot, always willing to do that for you guys too. We just have to, have to book the time ahead
Oh,
of
the
time.
training. Thank
Yes.
you.
Mm.
So, and like I said, I think those
Yes,
guys
please.
had
Thank you.
good questions, and I tried showing them the best I could. Um, but you'll never get the same amount of knowledge and understanding until you actually attend or run an event. So, and for me, Autorama, guys, please come to
We'll be
Autorama.
there.
You're gonna come to Autorama in 2 weeks?
Hmm. Oh, you mean me? No, I mean
Yeah.
we'll be there to be with you eventually.
Oh, okay.
I am really crossing my fingers for World Finals, but yeah, go ahead.
Mm.
So Autorama, we got that
Autorama, go.
April 29th and 30th. That's at Cal Expo in Sacramento. We have a $60, I believe it's $60 to get through the gate. That gives you your car and one passenger into the gate both days. And then any additional passengers are $20. If you get there past 10 o'clock, you got to pay an additional $10 to park just to get to where we're at. So don't get there past 10 o'clock. And I can't open the gate before 10 o'clock. So there's usually a nice little line formed outside, and we'll get that all going. I'll have people working the gate. They'll take your money. They can't take credit cards at the gate. They just so you know. So you got to bring the cash for your
Mm.
first entry at the gate. Once you get inside, and if you want to add additional classes, you can pay with the credit card then. But I'm still trying to get a hold of Base Wars to see if they want to come out and participate also. So it'd be nice if we can have Mr. Papasang pop in there and come in and show us what he's got. We'll be live again. I tried a little something with my audio at the last event. It was better,
Mhm.
but it wasn't good.
Mhm.
I wonder if it's that mic, because when you got off the mic, it was like I heard you clear, but obviously the spectators can't hear you. But it was like when you got off the mic, it was like clear as day, and I was like, dang, maybe I should tell Doug
Oh, so
not
I
to
was
use
using
the
my
mic.
earbud for the microphone.
Ah, okay, okay,
So
that's why I was
Mhm.
coming up
yep.
coming clear.
So you can hear me when I was talking inside the cars to the competitors
In
and stuff.
inside the cars,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. So did that give you a little more insight on what I was talking to them about and this and that?
Well, actually, it's quite quick and no,
Oh, okay.
but yeah. Sometimes I can catch little,
Mhm.
little bits of information that are useful. I'm like, oh, Tris, look, that's what Doug did there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
And
guys.
like if it's
Huh?
something with seasoned competitors, you don't talk that much.
That's correct. Because I just want them in and out, right?
Yeah,
And then they need to go
correct. Yeah.
talk to the people spectating and being that and get them involved. So that's
Right.
really the model I use, and I think it's a good model. Um, anyway,
Mhm.
yes, I didn't bowl well. I bowled well I bowled in Reno yesterday and today, so I did not bowl well. Let me reiterate. I bowled very well. I did not score well. So not scoring well did not do me any favors.
Okay.
So now I got to go get me some senior citizen what do they call
Social Security.
Social Security checks
Ah, no.
because man, it cost me a couple of them this weekend in Reno.
Social security check.
Yeah, so I got to get me some Social Security checks this afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead to the bowling alley, try and get me some money, get my game on that way.
Well, enjoy.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank
And
you for tuning in. Tiffany,
thanks for having me
great
on.
guest. You did well today. Jeffrey, awesome job again. Not this
Thank
weekend
you.
coming up, but the following is your event, your 3X event.
Correct.
We'll keep
Correct.
that going. If anybody out there knows anybody that's doing sodium ion batteries, I want to get somebody on the show to talk about sodium ion batteries. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look into it. That's the next evolution in batteries. There's a new company that just came out with some sodium ion stuff that they're able to make it even more efficient than lithium ion, and it also is like the third or fourth most common element on the planet.
Sodium.
And yeah, sodium. It's salt, right?
Salt.
So it's all in the ocean, and to
Salt.
mine it
Yeah,
does
sodium.
not
Mhm.
does not destroy the environment for them to mine it. So uh, you know, lithium ion, for you guys who don't know, they got to destroy the earth to get the lithium out, and it's very toxic when they do get it out, and then they have to
Mhm.
discard those batteries, the lithium ion batteries that are super toxic also. So this new sodium ion may be a more efficient, better form of battery power storage.
Power.
So anyway, so if
Nice.
anybody knows anybody that's into that, I've been looking hard. The thing is, I'm trying to get somebody in the car audio industry to come on and talk about it. If not, there's a couple of scientists I've talked to through email that I may get on to come and talk to us about sodium ion. So
That sounds really cool.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like I should wear my lab coat for
All
that podcast.
right, guys. Once again, thank you for being here. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Jeffrey. Great job, guys. We will see you guys
You're welcome.
next week on This Week in Car Audio. Peace. We out of here.